All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the shift. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Check.
Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Naheem Hines. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Everyone, 37's the mic. Mike, go. In your face. That's it.
From the gun, it's Taylor. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Whitney Merciless showing no mercy. Flies in for the sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right in midfield at the 50.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. Past the 20, Lamar Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose. This will be taken in at the 1.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still. But he's got a man, complete. T.Y. Hilton, nobody to beat. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A shotgun snap for Watson. Flushed out right. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's Watson. Buying time to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the other line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
50 yards set. In the car.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, it's Hines. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Draw play. This is Hines. And he's got this down to the 35.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Looking to throw on second down. Taylor, and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Well, not good at all. Punted just 24 yards there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. He got 29 yards that time. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Off the draw. Here's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Normally, that's not the down and distance that you call a draw play. You usually want to wait the 2nd or 3rd down with a definite passing situation before that play is dialed up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie from Temple, Rocky Sin. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He was looking that time for Stills. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run here with Mack. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Marlon Mack, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
They keep it with Miller on first down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Watson on the left side. This is Stills. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson. And he whips that one incomplete there. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 3rd and long, it's Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They begin the drive with Hines. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
When you see a big-time run to the outside, it always comes back to setting the edge, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and they were perfect in setting the edge there.
And the funny part is, both sides of the ball talk about it. The offense has to set the edge so you can get outside. The defense wants to set the edge to control things so they can kick the run back inside.
Offense wins there.
Offense won big.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 34-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Taylor. Going for the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. Watson, screenplay, Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
At the 32-yard line.
Reset. 50. 50 to Mike. 50 to Mike.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Watson. Forced out to his left. And he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent. I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Being chased out left. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
He's going to go deep for Funchess. They've got his man complete. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Taylor to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line. Right around the 36. An update from Buffalo. The Bills have taken an early lead against the Dolphins. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. After the run, Watson going to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with it. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Here's Taylor. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now Taylor. Escaping the pressure, and time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now it's Taylor. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Whitney merciless. Able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, first and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Again, it's Miller. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
First down, Houston.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson rolling to his right. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Now this play was all about the eyes. As he rolled out to his right, he kept one eye downfield and one eye on what was in front of him, and he ended up picking up some pretty good yardage.
Now from Colts territory, here's a first and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll try the air now with Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Kenny Moore. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check safety, check safety. Check. Fresno.
They go play action with Taylor. Blitz coming, and down he goes. To Sean Gibson. Give him the sack on the safety blitz. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
That's complete to Marlon Mack. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the
touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Taylor dancing to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Taylor now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Again, it's Taylor. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Taylor. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, 1st down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
To throw is Taylor. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jaleel Adai.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
We got 3 down. Watch the shit. Hey, watch the shit. Check, crunch. Let's go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Buying time, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He sets to fire deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Now it's Miller. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Johnson with a burst, a 1st down and more. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we scored touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last two drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this. And all that's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Well, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Pushing through the contact. A very good return there, giving an even 20 yards. And the Colts are set up well as they take over first and 10 on the short side of the field. Play action. Now Taylor. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the...
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. From the gun, it's Taylor. Eluding the pressure right. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. There goes Duke Johnson. He's at the 30, 20, 10. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. Johnson, the intended target. And that run has to be so deflating for the defense. They needed the stop. That might put the icing on the cake.
Perfect word for it, because when an offense grinds a defense down and kind of takes their heart from them, and you see them start to sag, no better feeling for the team running the football.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal.
Double time.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.